Welcome to this final bonus episode where we talk about the X-Men 97 prequel comics, this time issue number 4. I'm JC.
Hi, I'm Rod, and I don't know, I guess there's no other good place than any to say this. I found out yesterday morning that a piece of music I wrote 5 years ago was used in an X-Men 97 spot from the Korean animation studio that did X-Men 97. That was pleasant, but unexpected. So just keep making your art, kids. You just never know.
You just have the weirdest set of ties to this show outside of the podcast, more than anybody else I know.
Right. And, I'll go ahead and brag about it here. This specific piece of music, I wrote specifically. It's going to be under a general artist name, but I wrote specifically, and I fought for this one. So, wasn't this just clip? This piece has been used in so many things. So I'm kind of not surprised that it was in this. But it's been used for so many things that I kind of have I told you so, ingrained in this. And then when it ended up on this, it's okay, well, I'm good. It
this
can never
is
do anything else.
It's your FU piece, basically.
Yeah, kind of. It's kind of like Niecy Nash in her acceptance speech. She's like, I'd like to thank me. So that's what I'm going to do now.
So now I'm going to use this recording to bully you into remembering to upload the clip in the Korean animation piece. And hopefully it doesn't get hit with the takedown. So
wait, is it real? I put on the story, or should we just
throw it in as a reel. Fuck it. Yeah, steal the whole thing.
Because they posted a reel, so I don't know if I can just repost.
Rip it.
Rip it.
Rip it. Well, going into X-Men 97, number 4, which Rod is hearing all of this for the first time as I have the book in front of me. The last issue concluded with all of the X-Men arriving in Jean Grey's hometown. I think they literally parked the Blackbird behind her house in a field. Not? This one picks up with Trish Tilby, who is talking about the attack that happened at the bar. And she mentions that it happened yesterday. So in the time of the attack at the bar, Scott finds out that Jean is pregnant. And then they fly literally the next day to do a baby shower with Jean's family.
Okay.
I feel like editorial was not a part of any of this conversation. Because there are just certain decisions that are made that just are this is a 3-day window that doesn't need to be a 3-day window from a storytelling perspective. There is a quick reference to Colossus, though, as Trish is in other news, a Russian-speaking strongman with steel skin rescued blah, 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 and it gets cut off because Jubilee's maybe I shouldn't have Jean Grey's dad watching. I mean, it effectively feels like he's going to be triggered like he's watching Fox News.
Or what's it in that universe? It's FNN or something, or I can't remember.
Does not show up on this screen, but yeah, it's something to that extent. Yeah. And then they go into the 90s joke of he doesn't even know how to fix the new technology with the mute button, and they make an answering machine joke. And he's oh, Gene, do you remember when you had to set up my answering machine? Which is just 90s as hell. Yeah. But I think we get more indication of Madeline Pryor here because she's no, I actually don't remember that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
simple memories, skills. Yeah. Skill? Is answering machine stuff skills? Sure, now it is.
Yeah, tech skills. Everybody is gathering around the table. You have Morph transform into Daredevil as he's making fun of Wolverine over something. Also, Daredevil with the Morph smile of just the ditto face is very horrifying.
I was going to say, it looked like a mannequin.
It's terrifying. It's just, you get a little bit of static on the TV, and then the Marauders all show up with Sienna and what did I say his name was? The other guy?
Oh, in the back, he looks like He-Man.
He does look like He-Man. Yeah, and Sabretooth is just not there. It gets addressed, but he was just let them be on their own kind of scenario. And Sinister is okay with this. Cyclops has his gear on underneath his jacket.
Okay, I almost believed it, except he has not the sash. Is that what it is? Utility?
The chest piece that's sticking out? Yeah.
Yeah, with the communicator on it. That seems large and metal.
But Storm is doing the my clothing is transforming with lightning deal again, which canonically in the show is just her power, I guess.
Yeah, and Beast happened. It must be something. Was it Beast that engineered those things or something?
Sure, let's go with that.
Yeah, well, because it didn't. They handed Roberto an outfit. I don't know. They handed various mutants outfits and this is made for you, and that's it.
Well, Roberto got the trainee outfit, so yeah. And then Beast has everybody just go into the Blackbird as that's where you're going to be safe, is inside the jet. We do get a shot that is pretty cool that is recreating the opening running scene. So now the Marauders have gotten more placement in X-Men 97 than Avalanche, Pyro, and Mystique at this point.
I can't wait to see what happens, like, whether season 2 or 3 or beyond, like those 3 are just like on an island or something. They got stranded somewhere.
It's just them being sad and losers together, basically.
I think I said in a previous episode, like, they might be like a Trask and Gyrick thing where they're like stranded in the Amazon together.
You get a few pages of fight scenes, which also includes Juggernaut Morph as the Morphernaut is how he calls himself.
Oh yeah, you can see the face underneath the helmet.
Right. Which does not line up with what we saw on the show, obviously.
Yeah, right.
And then here, as I was mentioning, is Sinister watching all of it on TV or like closed circuit TV, and Sabretooth is just like, they could go do it on their own. And then Sabretooth is like, all right, I'll be seeing you around. That never happened in X-Men 97.
Yeah, I guess Sinister has like unlimited drones or something, because those camera angles are like TV angles.
There are literally 2 angles just on Morph as Juggernaut twice.
Yeah, and very slight angle. Like one's more zoomed in than an angle.
Yeah. Fight starts breaking out. And the conclusion is everybody swap partners, basically. Cyclops is dealing with one of them. I don't know. They're all just such generic marauders. Like, I don't care about half of their names. Jean is able to put one of them asleep with her telepathy, or Maddie is able to. And then Cyclops has the moment where he asks Wolverine, what would you do in this case? Because we're obviously not winning. That's when they start swapping partners and everybody just starts taking each other out. There is a great homage shot right here to the classic Wolverine cover, where instead of it being Sabretooth's face, it is, I don't know, what's your crappy name? Nope. Doesn't even say his name. Don't care. Yeah. And then to prevent like the world from exploding, we get Rogue taking Sienna's power, and then it's just kind of like, all right, that was cool. Oh, and then we get an Iron Man moment from Morph too.
Oh, okay.
Also terrifying.
Oh, that face doesn't need to be like that. Iron Man has a mask.
But remember, that version of Iron Man had no mouth on it.
Okay.
The 90s version of the cartoon was the straight, like, smooth front to it. So,
okay.
Yeah. Then they just take out everybody else, really, and then it just kind of ends.
Great.
Yep. And Morph as Val Cooper.
See, that's the closest thing we had to our conspiracy theory about Val being Mystique.
That is now, yeah, that is. Yeah. So the big takeaway from this for me was, up until this point, it was just another repeat battle scene. There was nothing special about this issue. But the last page is actually where stuff is kind of cool from a reveal standpoint. First off, you have Sinister being like, oh, cool, we got more plans coming through. Then you have Gyrick, who meets Carl Denty, the Friends of Humanity lead from the UN. You get a moment between Magneto and the Hellfire Club where Emma has somehow the last will and testament of Charles Xavier.
Well, that's where you got it from. And
then finally, you see Sunspot freaking out over his powers.
Oh, no. Well, is Sunspot in that? Okay, he's there. They're just cutting to a bunch of different locations. Wow. Okay.
So he looks like from the background, he's in the housing in like a slum area within Brazil.
Yeah.
So
okay, that I almost would have rather seen that storyline.
I would have rather have seen everything else from that last page than anything else in this issue.
That's so funny. Yeah. How did fuck the Emma Frost? I guess I don't know,
man. And then the final page of all of it is just kind of like the big splash of the entire team. And then instead of saying like the end, it's like it never ends. And here's the thing, like, I know that there's lots of factors that play into a book like this. This did not do justice to what this show is.
Yeah, like it's almost like it was like rushed or something.
It felt very rushed, and the writer is a genuinely like talented writer. I've read other stuff from him. His name is Steve Fox, and he's done stuff with Spider-Woman, Dark X-Men. He's done the creation of Webweaver, who is the alternate universe gay version of Spider-Man. Like, he's done a lot of really good stuff. Also, I believe he's the editor on World Tree, which is a great Image independent book. And this just felt like nobody talked to each other about what was going to happen. And I felt like they never gave him the tone of what the new version of the show was going to be.
Yeah, you gotta wonder, where in the timeline the production of this like fell, because obviously we got it like weeks after the show. the first
Yeah,
season ends.
this issue came out this past Wednesday, so literally 4 or 5 weeks after the finale had aired. 5 weeks, actually.
But the way that last panel looked, it looked like it was meant to be a promo for the show coming out.
Which, yeah, but I think like even there was nothing. Nothing was saved by not having this all come out early. Like
Right,
this could have been, the last week of February up until premiere week is one a week kind of scenario. Because the only thing that was saved was the Morph as Hulk spoiler-ish moment.
Oh, yeah.
Aside from that, and that's even a loose one because Morph is just transforming into stuff. But like, how many people who watched the show were also buying this book that would have considered that a spoiler? It's like the microscopic group,
Yeah, and even then, doesn't say the Morph can't do it again.
Of course.
Something like.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have a hard time recommending this book. If you want to check it out for yourself, we do have the Amazon affiliate for the collected trade paperback in the descriptions of our episodes. I just don't want people to think it is the same tone as the cartoon. The cartoon is way more mature and elevated, whereas this felt like it was like the X-Men Adventures from the 1990s, which was the tie-in comic to the show then. It kind of felt like your generic all-ages book. So
Yeah. Or maybe down the road, if there's like a hardback of, a collection of, hopefully not just these 4, but like, maybe all the tie-ins or something. Maybe that'd be worth it to have a cool cover or something.
Yeah, if they like did a re-release, because there was X-Men 92 that happened during the Secret Wars Battle World story from like the mid-10s. And then we also had, what was it, House of X-Men or House of 92 or House of 97, whichever one it was, that I also didn't really love. Maybe they should stop doing comic books about the cartoon that's based on a comic book.
There you go. Yeah. It's like, what was like, there was that show, The Producers. It was a movie that became a musical, and then a movie about the musical came out. Yeah. We only really know about the first 2. Because by the time you get to the third one, it's like inbreeding at that point, right?
No, it's a little like self-flagellating at some extent. So on that note, that is the end of this bonus episode. If you have thoughts, leave them in the YouTube upload or the Instagram for this. But yeah, we have a lot of other better, higher quality episodes where we are interviewing members of the cast. And Rod and I are going to be doing our first ever movie watch along with Deadpool. So if that goes well, that'll be in your feed next. If it doesn't, you'll get a review of Deadpool.
All right, what would be fun is at least one of those, I'll be post oral surgery. And as long as I can talk, we'll be there. And if you're lucky, I'll be high on good meds. So that can be fun.
I don't know if that means we need another co-host for it or not. Because it's either going to be great or the worst thing we've ever recorded.
I feel like if you're going to be high on pain meds, Deadpool's a movie to do that with.
That'll be for Deadpool 2.
There you go.
Yeah, perfect. And there's no better way to end an episode. Thank you, guys.